Hello, everyone. Welcome to Better Together in 5, the podcast for school staff who want stronger, more respectful workplaces in just 5 minutes. I'm Jerry Lee.
And I'm Kathy. Today we're diving into something we all do, but maybe don't always think about carefully: venting. When is it healthy, and when does it cross into gossip that can actually hurt people?
Kathy, this one feels especially relevant in both schools and workplaces.
Absolutely. Because on the surface, venting seems harmless. You've had a rough day, something happens, and you just need to get it off your chest. That's normal. It can even be healthy, but the tricky part is how quickly that can shift into something more harmful.
So let's start with the good side. Venting, at its best, is about processing emotions. Maybe a teacher is overwhelmed with workload, or an employee is frustrated with a confusing project. Talking it out with someone you trust can help you calm down, gain perspective, and avoid reacting impulsively.
Exactly. Healthy venting usually has a few things going for it. It's focused on your feelings, it's temporary, and it often leads to some kind of resolution or clarity. You're not tearing someone down, you're trying to understand your own reaction.
And there's also an element of trust. You're choosing someone who can listen without escalating things, like a close friend, not a group chat.
Yes, that choice matters a lot because here's where things can go sideways. When venting becomes repetitive, exaggerated, or starts involving people who don't need to be part of the conversation.
Let's talk about that shift. When does venting turn into gossip?
A big red flag is intention. If the goal changes from, I need to process this, to, can you believe what this person did? That's a problem, especially in schools and offices where relationships and reputations really matter in how effectively we can serve students.
And once you start adding details that don't serve any purpose other than making someone look bad, yeah, that's gossip territory.
Exactly. Another sign is audience size. Venting is usually one on one or very contained. Gossip spreads. It pulls in more people, often people who weren't involved at all.
That's huge in a school setting. Think about staff rooms talking among themselves. One frustrated comment about a student or colleague can quickly turn into a shared narrative that isn't fair or even completely accurate.
And in offices, it can damage team trust. If people feel like they might be talked about behind their backs, it creates tension. Collaboration suffers, people become guarded.
There's also the impact on the person doing the venting. If you're constantly replaying negative interactions and sharing them widely, you're kind of reinforcing that negativity in your own mind.
That's such a good point. Healthy venting should help you move on. Gossip keeps you stuck.
So let's make this practical. If someone's wondering, am I venting or gossiping? What are a few quick checks they can do?
Okay, I'd say first, ask yourself, would I say this if the person were here? If the answer is no, pause. Second, is this helping me solve something or just spreading frustration? And third, how many people am I telling? If the circle keeps growing, that's a warning sign.
I'd add one more. Am I open to the possibility that I might be part of the problem? Perhaps I don't have all of the information. Venting usually leaves room for reflection. Gossip doesn't.
That's a tough one, but an important one.
So, how do we vent in a healthier way, especially in high stress environments like schools and offices?
Be intentional. Pick one trusted person. Maybe it isn't even someone at work. Keep it focused. And try to include what you actually need: advice, perspective, or just a listening ear. And then address it and let it go.
And maybe balance it out. If you're talking about something frustrating, also acknowledge something neutral or positive. It keeps things grounded.
Yes, because the goal isn't to suppress frustration, it's to handle it in a way that doesn't harm others or your environment.
That's really the takeaway, isn't it? Venting is human. It's not the problem. But unchecked, it can easily turn into something that affects trust, culture, and even people's well being.
And once something crosses into gossip, it's hard to undo the impact. Words travel fast, especially in close communities like schools and workplaces.
So, next time you feel the need to vent, just take a second. Check your intention, your audience, and your goal. A small pause can make a big difference. And if you know your actions have the potential to be harmful and you continue doing it, stop it, please, for your colleagues and the students we serve.
Well said, Jerry Lee. Thank you for spending this time with us on Better Together in 5. If you found this episode helpful, please share it with your team.
Please join us next time. And remember, we are better together. It matters more than we realize. For more resources related to today's and all of our Better Together in 5 podcasts, please visit our Employee Relations podcast page in the Human Resources section on SharePoint.